Your body wasn't designed to be in survival mode 24 hours a day. Cortisol, adrenaline, and insulin are the primary hormonal pathways. When you have elevated cortisol, it shuts down digestion and stores fat. When that goes on for too long, it's driven by adrenaline and you will burn out. Adrenal exhaustion is real. So let's quantify and qualify stress. So there can be a stress response from any external stimulus. Chronic elevated cortisol creates inflammation. Inflammation causes disease, and disease kills dreams. So if you want to keep your legacy alive, keep watching, because at the end of this video, I'm going to give you one simple tool that will change your life forever. So cortisol is very useful for fight or flight or to help you survive. But chronic elevated cortisol will break you down. It will exhaust you. Something that coffee, supplements, even getting 8 hours of sleep, you can still wake up exhausted. So it's very important to really understand where the stress factors are coming from. I've quantified 7 factors of stress. You've got physical stress. So if somebody asks you to move their house, maybe they should call some movers, especially the older you get. You don't want to throw out your back. You don't want to overexert yourself. Making sure that you're doing the proper exercise, working in versus working out. Most people can just do walking, which is an excellent exercise. And if you have the extra energy, you can work out, do squats, deadlifts, etc. But managing your energy and being very wise about it is super important. Also understanding chemical stress and electromagnetic radiation and frequencies. And we're dealing with that. That's an invisible stressors. Those are 2 major stressors that are happening on the body at all times. So it's a good idea to practice stress management in as many different ways as you possibly can. And the one simplest way I'll give you at the end. Then you have thermal stress. Is it too hot or too cold? I'm in the Valley of the Sun. It's 109 degrees out by noon. And so you have to manage your energy and the stress that the outdoor environment puts on you. You got to make sure that you have the proper amount of electrolytes. This is why saunas and ice bath can give you a stimulus that your body can naturally respond to. And so it's a good tool in the toolbox, but it's not right for all people at all times. This is why you need to be cognizant of what could potentially be stressing you out. Another major stress factor is psychic stress. So you go into your office Monday morning. It's a different type of energy than Friday afternoon. You go into the LA Coliseum, for example, on a Tuesday, there's nobody there. You go there on Saturday and the Trojans are playing. So psychic energy is always around us. Make sure you hang out with people that are feeding your soul, that are feeding you positively, not draining you. And we all know that digital communications have an effect on our psyche as well as our hormones, cortisol, adrenaline, insulin. And so every time you get pinged, scrolling from one platform to the next, it takes 20 minutes for the human mind to focus. And so if you're going from YouTube to email to Instagram to text messages and you're constantly being pinged, this has an effect on your cortisol levels. So be very mindful of it. Mindset is the first step, then awareness and quantifying and qualifying stress levels as we're going through right now. So this all has an effect. So none of this is a license to be neurotic, because neurosis is a mental disorder. So you don't want to make yourself crazy. You just want to be aware and then manage your lifestyle accordingly. Me, for example, all my notifications are turned off. I don't do email very often because I am on other platforms that are usurping my time. So I'm very mindful of where my energy goes and the focus that I have. Turning your phone on airplane mode, especially if it's in your back pocket or it's near you, is very important, because electromagnetic radiation and electromagnetic pollution has an effect on your cortisol levels. And so being mindful about your digital communications is very important. And finally, nutritional stress. Are you eating enough or too much? Nutrition affects your insulin. Insulin, adrenaline, and cortisol are the primary hormonal pathways, as I've stated already. And so when your insulin is off, your blood sugar is off, this spikes your cortisol, driven by adrenaline, and this can burn you out. Also, your caffeine usage affects cortisol. Cortisol has a half-life of 6 hours, so you shouldn't be drinking caffeine later on in the day, because this will disrupt your sleep cycle. Now, here for the exercise. The easiest way to rectify your stress is nasal breathing. This puts you in a parasympathetic nervous system response, which is rest and digest, feed and breed. And so tongue on the roof of the mouth, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, opening up your diaphragm, breathing into your pelvic floor. That is the mentality, right? You don't have to get it perfect, but this is awareness is the first step. So get your mindset right. You can tape your mouth shut at night as well, and this will force you to breathe through your nose. And so tongue on the roof of the mouth, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Pay attention to this throughout the day. Now, when I corrected my breathing mechanics back in 2017, I knew it was a very important thing that I had to pay attention to. Breathing in through the diaphragm, into the belly, and also nasal breathing. And so I started training myself while I was riding my bicycle. So bringing up my heart rate and breathing deeper, I put my tongue on the roof of my mouth and started breathing in through my nose and out through my nose. It was very difficult at the time because I wasn't trained in that respect. And think about it. When you're running, when you're in fight or flight, or when you're in a fight, and let's say a boxer or UFC fighter is gassed out, what do? They're breathing through their mouth. So if you're breathing through your mouth, this is elevating your cortisol automatically. It's a signal that your body receives that this is exhaustion, this is stress. And if you're doing it unconsciously, this is going to create musculoskeletal excitation. It's going to burn you out in the long run. So simply putting your tongue on the roof of your mouth and breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Breathing into your belly, your diaphragm, and your pelvic floor. This is a very simple mindset technique, a simple exercise that over time will train you so you have much more energy and reserves throughout the day, and you're calm and you can respond instead of fight or flight.